Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel and today's video. So the Swedish word of the day is Italy, which is a Swedish Italian. And that is only because of the fact that I am today going to do a tag. I think it is a tag, or it is anyway created by Andrea Matteliano here on YouTube. I love her channel, she's so amazing. But I think that her last name sounds so Italian to me. It's like Matteliano. It just sounds so Italian to me, so I don't think she is, but I think it sounds like it, so I just had to pick that for a Swedish word of the day. As I said, I am going to feature 10 eyeshadow palettes that's old, but that I kind of still want. And an eyeshadow palette that is technically older is what I'm having on my eyes today. I am wearing my Natasha Denona Gold palette, but this is the one that I kind of redesigned. I talked about it very briefly in a video, but I put in my cranberry palette as well. So I put in this one, and then these two aren't from the gold palette, and these two are actually from the cranberry palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today, and then along with these mattes and a little bit of this in my inner corner. And I love this look. I did it last night, or I did it yesterday, I mean, for work, and I just loved it, so I had to do it again. But yeah, let's get into the first palette. Okay, so I kind of want to say as well that Andrea will, by the way, be linked down below, and Andrea, we would say Andrea in Swedish, but she will be linked down below. And a lot of these palettes aren't technically old. It's not like they are 5 years old, but they're still older on the market. You guys know how quick the beauty industry works, so yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that they are a little bit old. But the first one is actually this is the number 3. Maybe I should scoot a little bit so we can show them. This is the third palette from the Norvina collection that they did. They came out with 3 eyeshadow palettes, and this is the only one that didn't come to Sweden, which is just great. It's just like perfect, like thank you. This is the eyeshadow palette that I mostly wanted out of the 3. This is the only one that I would consider to even purchase. The other 2 was like a no. I love purples, but it wasn't really for me. I don't know what it was with it, but this one is so stinking pretty. It has these beautiful purple shades that I absolutely love, but it also has these beautiful brown shade that is very warm, and they're just so easy, so you could use them for like an everyday. But then also it has some beautiful shimmers and greens, and you guys know how much I love my greens, and I just feel like I would have so much fun with this palette. And the reason why I didn't purchase it is because of the fact that it didn't come to Sweden, and then also because of the fact that Anastasia was releasing so many palettes, and I just couldn't keep up, and I didn't actually want to even keep up because it was just so crazy to me. I know that I can dupe this palette with a bunch of other different palettes, but it's just like I just love the color story of this palette. I think it's beautiful. So I am actually thinking about doing like a makeup wish list that I'm a little bit ashamed of, like my shameful makeup wish list, because I actually have some makeup that I really want, but that I haven't purchased, and I'm a little bit ashamed of admitting it on camera. So let me know if you would like one of those videos, but this is one of the items that I was thinking about featuring. This is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette, like the second one, so the Jaclyn Hill palette number 2. I just think that this palette is gorgeous. I really do. Again, it has this beautiful neutral shades, and I really love the neutral shimmers that she included as well. But then it also has these a little bit more yellow toned. It has these purples, pinks, reds, and berries. And I've seen so many people do amazing and beautiful looks with this palette. I just think it looks absolutely gorgeous. So again, that was kind of a palette that I was thinking that I might purchase, but then I decided to wait, and then the scandal came out, and I was like, okay, no, I'm just not going to. So I kind of put it aside, and I actually, for real, didn't even want it, but then it came back, and I was like, I really want it again now. And I have been feeling that for quite some time, but not going to purchase. My third palette is actually a palette that I have been eyeing, and I've been looking at it so many times on Beauty, no, not Beauty Bay, because they don't have it. They don't have it in Sweden either, but they have it on Look Fantastic's website, and I've been eyeing it so much there. This is the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, and it's so fucking beautiful. The one reason why I haven't purchased it is because I think that a lot of the browns in it is a little bit too warm for my liking. I really love these like more sandy colors, like this one and even this one. These are my kind of browns that I really love, and I love warm browns, but these are just a tad too warm for my liking. But I absolutely love the greens, the blue shades and everything. And I know it is limited edition, which is kind of why I've kept on looking at it, because I'm like, oh, it's limited edition, maybe I should get it, maybe I shouldn't, should I? And I just gone back and forth, and I still go back and forth. Like, I was watching it the other day, and I was like trying to see how many they had in stock, and okay, I was like, okay, I'm all set, they have many in stock, but who knows if they had only had one in stock. But still, it's like a lot of money to spend on a palette that you're very unsure about. We have talked about 3 expensive palettes, so let's talk about a very affordable palette from BH Cosmetics. I don't know what it is, but these are just my tones. I think that they are pretty. So this is the Summer in Saint-Tropez palette. Saint-Tropez palette. Okay, I don't know. But anyway, it has some browns, it has some neutrals, it has some pops of blues, it has some beautiful pinky shades and some golds. Again, I think that this palette seems to be perfect. I absolutely love the tones of it. I have looked at this many times thinking, should I buy it, should I not? But I have been on a sort of low buy journey where I've only allowed myself to purchase 3 palettes in 6 months, and I still have some months to go. I think I have like maybe 1.5 months when you see this, maybe a little bit more, like closer to 2 months. I will survive this, it's okay, but this is such a pretty palette. It has an orange as well, and yeah, I don't know, I think it's so pretty, so I had to include it in this video, and especially because I have been eyeing it for so long, and I actually every single week go and look at it, and I think it's so beautiful and so pretty. So this is from an indie brand, and this is a palette that I have talked quite a lot about on my channel. I have shopped my stash, and I used this palette instead because I thought that it kind of resembled it. So yeah, okay, let me just show you the palette. So this is from Ace Beauty, or Ace Beauty, I think it's called, and this is the Flare eyeshadow palette. This is so beautiful, and the palette that I have been duping it with is the Morphe 35M palette, which I have in my collection, and I also actually duped it with the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. When I wanted the Metropolis palette, I used that palette instead, so that I would kind of tame my urges a little bit. It doesn't have the blues that the Metropolis palette has, but I felt like it was a pretty close-on dupe, not formula-wise, but shade-wise. I think that this palette is so pretty, the Flare palette, because I have been talking about it so much. But again, like, I feel like a lot of people have talked very good about it, and then some people have talked really bad about it, and I've just been so unsure, like, should I get it, should I not? And especially when I have this palette that I can dupe it with, so it feels very unnecessary. And I feel like Ace Beauty is the kind of brand that everyone is very unsure about, just because of the fact that they have this iffy formula. Sometimes it is really good, it seems like, anyway, and then sometimes it's just not that great. And that's kind of what makes me a little bit like turned off, but I still think that the execution of this palette is spot on. We have talked about 5 palettes, let's talk about 5 more. So we cannot do this video without talking about ColourPop, and this is a palette that I never in a bazillion years thought that I would want, but this is actually the So Jaded palette. So this is a palette that they did in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. It is a super ginormous palette, especially from what they kind of usually do. What was that? That they usually do? I think that so many tones in this palette is just right. We have this beautiful peridot, I don't know, but it is this beautiful green shade. Then we have the shade Smoky Capty. Oh my god, what the fuck is this? That also looks to be this beautiful, beautiful shade that is just right up my alley. I love ColourPop's formula. I think it's absolutely incredible. We have a shade called Aquarius, I don't know, aquamarine maybe. I have seen this circling around so much the past couple of weeks, and I've seen so many people do looks with it. I've seen so many people talk about the palette, which has made me want it, and I've been like, ColourPop palettes aren't that much money, so it's easier to justify a palette like that than to justify a very, very expensive palette, but it's still, you know, something that I just don't need. Talking about an expensive palette, I actually have another Natasha Denona palette on my wish list, which is the Leela palette. Leela is actually Lila. Lila is purple in English, in Swedish I mean. And these tones is what I go for all the time. If you follow me on Instagram, I post my looks on there every single day in one of my highlights that I have on Instagram. So I post with like very old palettes, very new palettes, new to me, especially on my like no buy, low buy thing, but I have no more palettes to purchase. So, I mean, I'm only using what I have in my collection, and I kind of rotate in my shop, my stash. And these tones, if you have been following me there, are the kind of tones that I use so much. These are the tones that I reach for all the time. I just think that they're so freaking beautiful. And if you are Swedish and you want this palette, I would just say wait or keep an eye out, because this is always on 30% of Sephora, and when they do their sale they add on additional 20% of this palette, which means that it's 50% off. I told this to one of my Swedish friends here. She doesn't have a YouTube channel. I was going to say here on YouTube, but I talked to her about it, and I know that she wanted it, and I told her to wait because it's always 50%. They add on the sale on this palette. I don't know why they do. Maybe it sells really bad here, and it is 50% from what it usually is, and she actually got it on one of those deals and she's so happy about it. So if you ever wanted this, I would say wait. I would not purchase this at full price. Definitely not. I would get it at 50% off. I think that it's beautiful, but the one thing that kind of keeps me away from it is that it has 4 mattes, and I'm a matte girl. I love mattes, but I kind of been a little bit more into shimmers lately. I know, who am I? But it's just, I don't know, that kind of is, and I don't feel like it's as unique either, especially not to my collection, but she pretty though. My 8th palette is also from BH Cosmetics. I know. This is the Zodiac Love Signs palette. Everyone and their mama kept telling me that I should get the OG Zodiac palette, and I was like, it's cute, but it's just not my kind of colors. I was really close at purchasing it so many times because everyone was telling me that I was going to love it, but I'm really happy that I didn't, because I know I wouldn't reach for those tones. But this one is right up my alley. It's a little bit warmer, which I've said so many times that I love, and it also has these pinkier tones, and then it has a few cool tone blues and this tealy shade, which, I mean, come on, it's so pretty. But it is, once again, like, I love to mix warm browns with purples and pinks and stuff like that, champagne-y shades. Just love it. But I feel like it isn't that original to my collection. I feel like, I'm sure it's a great palette and the quality is amazing, but it's just like, I don't need it. My 9th palette is actually not an old palette. None of these are super old. The Leela palette might be very, very old actually, but most of the palettes aren't like super old. But this, I have duped this palette, but I don't understand why I still want it. So this is the Dominique Cosmetics Latte 2 palette. I duped it with my ColourPop Dream Street palette. Need to explain this. I don't really love the last 4 shades. So it is like the 6 shades that I absolutely love, and those shades I feel like I can get in this palette. So it's definitely not a palette that I need or stuff like that, but it's just like, I don't know why. I love her matte formula. I think it's absolutely amazing. I think it's so creamy, buttery and everything like that. So But I don't know, I keep looking at this palette. It was on sale on Beauty Bay for the longest time, and I was thinking like, should I get it? Should I break my low buy rules? But I kept strong, I didn't buy it. But you know, it's still like, I can eye something and I love to go and look at looks that people have done, and I'm trying to really restrain myself. It's really hard, and you guys know this as well, especially if you're a makeup lover and you love to purchase new shit. But it has been hard, but we're powering through. So the last palette is actually palettes. This is multiple palettes, but I thought that I would mention them as one. So all of these are from Dose of Colors, and they are the 5-pan palettes. Are there 5-pan? Yes. I have the Blushing Berries palette, but I really want the Baked Browns eyeshadow palette because I think it's so pretty, and also the Marvelous Mauves. Now that I searched for it, I actually can't find it on Beauty Bay, which is so strange. I don't know why. The thing is that I always thought that they were a little bit expensive, but now Beauty Bay has actually upped the price very much on all of their products, and I don't know why. They lowered the products on some products after they had raised them, so they're still more expensive now than they were, and they're saying that we can put whatever prices we want, and I'm just like, okay, that's crazy. They took away the free shipping, so now I'm kind of like, I don't know, I still love Beauty Bay, but it's like, why? I get that they need to up the prices once in a while, but it's like, do you actually need to up it with 20% per product? It's crazy to me. I don't know. But both of those palettes I think are so pretty. They're definitely very, very different, but they're so pretty, and I know that I would get a lot of use out of them. I think that the tones are absolutely incredible. It's these tones that I love to use, and I know that I would get a lot of use of them once again, but it's just like, it's not a need. The Baked Browns, I have those shades over and over again. I don't need it, but you know, a girl wants, and a girl can dream. Let me know if there are any eyeshadow palettes that you still lust over that's a little bit older. I would love to hear from you guys, but that's all from me today. So if you liked the video, give me a little thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, give me a thumbs down. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.